This is the Mighty Oaks Daily Devotional. My name is Jeremy Stalnecker. And recently I was having a conversation about raising kids and all that's involved in bringing up kids from being infants where they can do nothing for themselves to full-grown adults where you push them out. And hopefully you've equipped them to function in the world, a big world, a difficult world, but hopefully over the course of all of it, you've taught them how to succeed in that world. That's the goal. In this conversation, we started talking about the measure of success. What does it look like to be successful in life, and how do we communicate that to our kids? So much of life, whether it's in work or it's in sports, it's in education, is measured through these metrics of success. If you do this, you're successful. If you don't, then you're not. If you've made this much money, or you've achieved this accomplishment, or you've done this thing, then you can feel successful. And if you haven't done those, you've fallen short, then you're really not that successful. The problem with all of those metrics is twofold. Number one, they're fairly arbitrary. They're a sliding scale, if you will. They change as time goes on. They don't last forever. They're temporary. They're arbitrary. That's number one. And number two, most of the time, we can't actually do anything to be successful in that sense. If you're on a team sport, you cannot by yourself determine whether or not that team wins. If you work in a company, you cannot by yourself determine whether or not that company is successful. And on we could go. So we have these metrics that are temporary, they're arbitrary, they're on a sliding scale, and we can only do our part. We can't actually determine success or failure. So then we started to have, in this conversation, another discussion about what it is we should teach our kids. Should we teach them to be driven? Should we teach them to be competitive and want to be successful? Or should we do something else? I think as we consider not just raising kids, but our own lives, we need to recognize that success, promotion is the word I'll use. We're going to look at a couple of verses here in just a second. That comes from God. What we can control is how diligent we are with the resources, the opportunities, the skills, and the talents that God has placed into our hands. What I want my kids to know is that their focus should not be on success or failure. Their focus should be on actually becoming, growing into, working toward being all that God has called them and created them to be. At the end of the day, whether the measure of success is there or not, I want them to know they did everything they absolutely could do. Given their own limitations, given the resources that they have, did they do everything they could with what God has given to them? That's the only thing we should concern ourselves with. Why? Because that's the only thing that we can control. And on the other side of that, we need to trust that God is God, and God will do with us exactly what He desires. That's what we find in the 75th Psalm today, Psalm 75, verses 5 and 6. Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck. So don't puff yourself up. Why? For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, verse 7, but God is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. Promotion, success, in so many ways, that is the realm of God. So what should we focus on? Focus on being the very best that you can be with what God has given to you. Listen, there's a lot of freedom that comes from that, a lot of liberty. Because I'm not trying to control something that I have no ability to control. I'm simply saying, God, I'm going to do everything I can with what you have given for me or given to me to steward over. And then I'm going to trust you with the results. Work hard. Use everything that God has given you to the fullest. Be all that you were called and created to be. And then rest in the one who putteth up and teareth down, who is the one who offers promotion. This is such a thought. I love it because it is so freeing to me. For so much of my life, I've tried to be successful, tried to win. I think competition is good. I think it helps drive. We should want success, but our focus should not be on the result as much as it is the work that God can do through us. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow for another Mighty Oaks Daily Devotional. For more information about the Mighty Oaks Foundation and the work that we do for veterans, active duty service members, and first responders, please visit mightyoaksprograms.org.